Hello there everybody, welcome back to a new episode. In this one we are having a quick look at Zoom. So of course this one was bound to come out at some point because Zoom has been doing absolutely amazingly all the way through 2020, and I do believe we all know why. And I do believe even though with what we are seeing right now, with the potential of the pandemic going away at some point, hopefully in the future, I think Zoom is still the way forward for many years to come. And I think, a company like this is absolutely possibly going to experience more growth. So of course what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at what the company does, providing all that kind of good information. Then we're just going to be having a look through a few of the factors which may contribute to growth, a few of the revenue figures for 2020 and why they may be applicable into the next year. So yeah, if it sounds like a good video, please do leave a like and subscribe. Of course we're trying to grow the channel as fast as we possibly can, so it would be massively appreciated. If you did want to come and join us on Discord, it's absolutely free to talk about stocks. Link is down in the description, and of course if you did want to become a channel member, you can do so by pressing the join button. On top of that, I'm not a financial advisor and this is all just my opinion, but let's jump straight into it. So yeah guys, if we do have a quick look on our screens right now, we can have a quick look at how Zoom stock has been moving over. In fact, you know what, we'll do it over the past year first if we can. So apparently we can't for some reason, Google likes to mess us up, but we can see on the charts here, if we look at this one over 2020, in fact let's just have a look over 2019 first. Nothing was happening with the stock in 2019. It was pretty much flat for the whole year. We saw a bit of an increase up until about July and then a sell-off for the majority at the end of the year. It was all over the place, but the general direction was down. However, not much happened at all. If we get a full percentage for the year, it was up 7%. Not anything really to be happy about or anything like that, but obviously a lot has changed since then. With coronavirus and people working online, a lot of people have been using services like Zoom. Obviously Zoom is not the only one, but when you hear about these things, people are always referring to Zoom. It's a very popular platform. It's like back in the day when people used to have the iPhones once they first came out and people kept calling it FaceTime, even though it might not have been FaceTime, or even before that when it was Skype, that was a popular thing. People were calling it that, and now Zoom appears to be the one which is going to be leading this market sector for now, for quite a bit of time to come if we are looking at the figures in my personal opinion. So yeah, market cap is at 96.48 billion. Very big indeed, especially when we see the growth that we have seen over the past year. And of course, getting back to that growth, obviously we can see the majority of this was happening from about the 13th of March up until highs of about, let's have a look in a minute, but it was basically on the 23rd of October, I do believe, when the stock hit 420%, from its original price at the start of that period. So of course, massive growth figures. But since that high, the stock has unfortunately been down, and the high, if you're wondering, was at 559 United States dollars. So yeah, since that point, we've been down, unfortunately, 39%. You could be asking yourself, is now the perfect time to buy Zoom? So what we're going to be doing first is we're going to be looking at what the company does, and then, like I said, those revenue figures, and then giving my personal opinions right at the end. So yeah, why Zoom? Why is Zoom a service which you might want to use? So basically, Zoom is basically a meeting app. I'm sure you guys already know that one. It's kind of like Skype in a way. I'm pretty sure a lot more people are going to be familiar with Skype. It's been around for a lot longer. It's kind of like you call somebody on a video. Now, of course, the main thing with this one is it can be used by multiple people, and when I say multiple, I mean many. A lot of offices are using this service because, it kind of makes sense with people not being allowed to mix. A lot of schools are using this service, and of course, with all of these people buying this online service, a lot more people are using Zoom, and subsequently, Zoom's revenue has increased. So yeah, we can see kind of the process of it here, multiple people on a screen. I'm sure if you guys watch the news or anything like that, or if you guys work in an office yourself or go to school online, you may have even seen this, in your real life. And it kind of does make sense for people to use this. Obviously, with the technology that we have nowadays, it really does make sense. If we can have a look, I'm not sure if it will let us, we may be able to see Zoom's pricing. So yeah, obviously it's in Great British pounds for me, but we can see here some of the costs of the product. The basic one is for free, and of course, that is a smart move move. A lot more people will be able to use it subsequently. There are more expensive ones, and bear in mind, these are the services which the businesses and the schools will be using, and you can see the costs do range quite a bit. So it looks like we're on about £240+ over there. You know, it's a very expensive service when we are looking at this one. Then we've got these services down here at £480, and of course at £1,200 a year. So Zoom is definitely making its money, that is safe to say, with a massive increase in customers and all that kind of good stuff. If we can have a quick look at some of the figures, which I do believe we can, if we have a look over here, you know, we saw big increases in 2020. So of course this is just talking about the earlier part of 2020, and even in that period we can see the big increase. So over here in the UK, I believe that the lockdown started in February. I think that might be the same for a lot of different countries, or at least a lot of things started moving online from that point, and we can really see the explosion if we are looking at Zoom's figures. So of course, January, we were all back to normal. It was a lovely time, to be honest, and it was only 56,000 people who downloaded Zoom in that whole month, daily. If we're looking into February, you know, this skyrocketed up to 1.7 million daily, and then in March up to 2.13 million daily. And I do personally think that will have increased, every single day up until now. Really, I think it might be leveling out now, and a lot more people may not be downloading it anymore because they probably already have it. But you know, it has been doing amazingly. So of course, a few important figures down here as well. So of course, we got the full year of 2018. That only brought in 121 million. Not bad at all. I would not mind that in my bank account, but for a company, it's not that big. Quarter one of 2019 brought in 60 million, and the whole year of 2019 brought in 330 million. So not bad at all. It was a big increase on the previous year, and this was to be expected. But obviously, when we go into 2020, we see that increase, an absolutely huge one. It basically doubled in that time frame. So of course, it went up to 622.7 million. Very big figures indeed. And I think this growth is definitely going to continue into the future. So of course, given my personal opinions now, I think a lot more people are going to be using Zoom into the future. I think a lot more people will be buying the recurring plans. So of course, that is kind of a smart move in marketing from Zoom, in the sense that it's not a one-time buy product. A lot of these cases is a product which you buy once and then you have to start paying month and month and month. And I think that's clever because, it allows the company to make more revenue. Overall, I can see this one continuing to go back up because unfortunately, it is looking like the case that yes, the pandemic is kind of coming to an end, but on the same note, over here in the UK, we're talking about shutting schools again. I know a lot more countries are imposing, regulations again and restrictions, and it does make sense because the cases are kind of out of control again, unfortunately. And of course, with that being said, with that being the case, it does make a lot more sense for schools, offices to go back online, and I think they probably will at some point in the future. So for that reason, I would definitely say Zoom definitely could go back to its highs which we saw previously, as a lot more people could definitely be in the same situation that we were, in the past year. So honestly, I would not like that to happen, but it is looking like it may be the case. I think, even from the price now that we are seeing, Zoom does still have some potential to go up. Obviously, for the long term, it's definitely a decent buy in my opinion, but if I was going to buy it for the long term, I would definitely probably hold out a year or two and see where we are with the coronavirus, because, if it is gone, the price probably is going to fall by quite a bit, and then the growth for the long term is probably going to start. So of course, just a quick video to share my opinions. If you enjoyed, please do leave a like and subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye until then.